Good morning. It is Saturday. It is April 18th, and 2 days ago everything was blooming. Now it's snowing. So, weird times we're in. So, today we have an opportunity to do some snow tracking. So, I guess that's going to be most of the plan for today. We'll see what's out and about today and take things from there. The weather was kind of unexpected. More so, we knew we were going to have some flurries in the morning. I didn't expect like actual sticking to the ground. We've got about an inch of snow on the ground to take advantage of. So, that is what we're going to do. We're going to get moving, and that's the plan. A little different from last week. We've got maybe not 2 inches, maybe an inch and a half of snow from this morning. And so far, I guess our major objective is to do some covering of ground, looking for tracks and all that. And so far, I haven't found a thing. Maybe I think I found like, well, here's something. Looks to be a Yodi or probably a coyote. Kind of cutting through here down. Hold on. Not well defined, but going there. So that and some vole tracks so far. But I've come to know that coyotes do use this field to corner the occasional deer. If it was coyotes that time. Still haven't rolled out a feline kill as it was being dragged into the undergrowth. That's more feline, what's the word? Well, feline-ish. I'll just flub the word. But other than that, I do want to kind of make a point of taking issue with somebody. I saw a post on Facebook this morning, and I'm not going to call the person out by name, but he was all excited about the snow and was offering to have a group hike, and now is as good a time as any to remind people that we are having a pandemic, and as a result, social distancing, blah blah blah, group activities in the woods are what get the corresponding park or forest closed down if they don't see people obeying the mandate for social distancing. So if you want to hike, doing things like that is irresponsible, and I hope honestly nobody takes him up on it for that reason, because, which is not to wish ill on the person, just it is really just a really bad idea to, which way to go? I'll go down here first. Just a bad idea to get a bunch of people together if you don't want to get COVID. And I'm not going to delve deeper into my feelings towards the individual, because that's going to probably open up a can of worms. But needless to say, stay socially distanced. And honestly, I would advise against taking him up on his offer, because it's just a bad idea. Damn it. Let me go down here, have a look in this expanse, and hopefully not trip over a bunch of semi-logged leftovers. Actually, this looks like laurel. Well, a combination of the two, but... And before anyone screams hypocrisy at me, yes, I am out in the woods, but notice I hike solo. And you can't catch COVID from yourself. If you already have it, it's a moot point, which as far as I know, I do not. And knock on wood, that'll continue. But going out in group hikes right now, just not a good idea. End of rant. So, back to the matter at hand. I'm not seeing much in the way of, so far, coyote and a vole or shrew or some kind of field mouse level creature. Lots of this stuff, though. because it is fairly warm. The snow is falling off the trees, making these indents. And obviously not tracks, but one day I will get that right. So there's lots of that. No deer tracks of late yet. I'm just going to put it in the video, the comments I just made. I'm not going to post it on Facebook because somebody will see it and they'll, maybe I will. It just seems like a really irresponsible thing to do. And popularity isn't everything, so. Now, with the weather being what it is, I can look upstairs. Here's another comment to make with the idea of the drone ability of the day. If you look up into the sky, I can already tell it's going to get foggy up there. So if I do actually get the drone in the air today, it's going to be a basic pop-up to get some scenery, nothing overly fancy. And mainly fog and positioning sensors on drones do not get along. And it's also windier than anticipated, so I've also learned in this particular stretch of woods that what you have for wind on the ground is not what you have at 200 or 300 feet. You can go from 10 to 35 miles an hour, and that's a lot of wind for a drone to deal with. The last time that happened, I think I had it on the actual video where the thing got rocked pretty good. Although impressively righted itself. I had kind of made my peace with the fact it was going down. But didn't turn out that way. Alright, so big tree snapped from the wind. Haven't been through here recently, so I'm not sure how recently that would have happened. But you'll probably check a different stretch. I'm really not finding butkus for tracks out here. You'd think you would. But last week, the week before, we potentially heard wood knocks. It's another good reason to be out here today because it's pitch quiet out here other than a little bit of wind, so anything like that's going to be very audible. I think I said that right. Audible or hearable. So another good reason to be out. It's actually not that cold either, which means the snow is going to be wet and heavy, and tomorrow if I come back into this general neighborhood, it's probably going to be a mud fest after it all melts, because tomorrow's supposed to be much warmer. Today it's about, when I pulled in, I think it was probably 33 degrees Fahrenheit, whereas now, tomorrow it's going to probably be double that and jump up into the 60s. And I actually don't know if this is like a trail. I think this is some of the loggers made when they were in here that I'm following, kind of a pseudo path for them to get more access. It's kind of slick at spots too. No tracks though. Surprising. Last time I came out here and it was a nice storm, there was a pack of coyotes about. I found the deer kill all eaten. You had all kinds of things going on today. Not so much. So what I'm going to do is kind of walk to where this looks to end, and then I'm going to go check out that area over there. And then I might loop back up the hill and see what... Yeah, this is definitely logged territory, and that's probably deeper than it looks, and I don't feel like having wet feet on a snowy day. So the wood knocks remain unknown, and all we can really do is keep our ears open for a repeat of that. And I do basically know where that, I think I know where that goes. But I'm not gonna, I was down that way last week, I believe, or down the hill and off to the right of there. But let's have a look down here, and if I don't see anything, we're gonna kind of go back, work our way back the way I just said I was. And all I see are like the little indentations of the snow falling that I previously described. So we're gonna kind of start moving back this way and possibly take a break from the camera to gain some ground and see if we can actually find anything. I'm surprised there's no tracks, but we seem to be in the quiet stretch of the neighborhood today. So yeah, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back in a bit, hopefully with more excitement going on. A little ways up the hill and moving to the northeast. Heard something that could qualify as a knock. Too far off in the distance to really be sure though, and I'm still finding nothing for tracks. So head this way in a bit of a direction just to confirm this connects where I think it does. And again, maybe there's some tracks over here other than one odd coyote that came through in the night. Doesn't seem like he looks like he spooked everything else out of here. So, of course, something walking through all of this just to make the point. All this debris and impact from snow falling off the trees like you see. I hope I'm getting that, but it's falling off. As it gets warmer, I just got hit in the head with some too. As it's getting warmer, the snow is starting to fall off the trees. That's why you have all this. So if something walked through here earlier and it got pummeled with all the stuff coming down, you might not even see it. That's also a factor. That's all logged. I'm going to go take a look at the open area here, and if there's no woods, no tracks, then we are going to change our setting. And just trying to exploit the open area more so we don't have as much of this impact stuff, and God forbid something came through an open area where you had the least resistance kind of a thing. But I'm looking out there now and I see nothing at this point, so we'll go to the tree line, see if there's anything here. If not, we're going to change our venue again a wee bit. But then I will come back tomorrow, if only because I'll be curious. There's something. Again. Came through here. The stride would lead me to believe it's the same coyote. And he went over this way, down into this much thicker area down here. He's probably got better hunting cover. Or, if it was colder, I'd say get out of the cold, because if you get down in the dip, it's probably warmer, but because you're not in the wind. But he went down into that stuff, which is a lot thicker. But all right, so he made his rounds. Again, maybe that's why there's nothing else around here, because they're trying to avoid becoming his dinner. Myself, being that he's a lone coyote, apparently I'm not too worried about it. But not to say, what's this? All right, a few came through here because this is probably a second one here. You got these two, same basic stride. So either he came back up and went over this way because he didn't find anything, much like myself, or he had a friend join him, because it looks like they came through here and then Or he could have just been randomly circling around looking for food and had no luck. Either being the possibility. But let's walk over here to the ledge line. And see what we see. Looks like the edge of where they were logging. Like I said, I think they were logging in here about 4 or 5 years ago, if memory serves. I still personally think they could have done a better job of cleaning up, but that's me. And no clearly obvious tracks. But what we're going to do is, again, I said we're going to change venue, so we're going to take a break again and cover more ground. Fish, I got wet snow in my pocket. That's just wrong. That is just really wrong. But that's why I keep my camera in a bag. So yeah, I think sorry about that. I thought I'd cut that. We're gonna take a break at this point. So going down the side trail, if we don't get beamed too much with snow. I did happen on the way over here as I was going up towards a high meadow before, I apparently was trailed by a turkey because their tracks were there. They weren't there when I came up. So they are about, possibly seeking to avoid the coyotes. One of which I think I just had tracks for here. Might have seen a deer track too. But again, with all this impact debris, as I'm going to call it, hard to tell. So we're going to go down here, try our luck for some tracking down here. God forbid you find a Sasquatch track in the snow. Beyond all the snow falling off the trees, though, it's very quiet today, other than me yapping. If I decide to come back tomorrow, this is going to be a mud fest because all the snow melting. It's going to be mud season in here. I did manage to get the drone in the air, and I expected to hit fog and excuse me, have the positioning sensor fail again. To my surprise, I got up to about 400 feet and it didn't happen, so win-win. But basically did it more or less out of curiosity, because the last time I did it, the conditions were horrendous. Again, I thought I was going to lose the drone because it got hit by a pretty good microburst of wind up there. And you know the wind is strong when your horizontal position on the drone suddenly loses 50, 60 feet in the course of a second, which is essentially what happened that day. And I very quickly decided to bring it down because it got rocked really good, and I honestly thought it was going to crash, like I said previously. But quadricopters seem to have a very impressive ability to right themselves. My Mini has done that since too, and that's a lighter drone than the Spark is. But so again, lots and lots of falling snow and the resulting debris. Not a lot. Okay, you know it's wet when your waterproof hiking boots are starting to feel wet on the inside. Just saying. This whole trail is like wet snow and soggy from runoff, so I don't know how far up I'm going to get there on this today. Once you get up higher, you kind of get beyond it, but the first part of this is trudging through mud. Deliberately not talking for a moment to let you hear that squish squish sound to make the point. But so here it opens up a little. Maybe we'll get some tracks in here. The turkey tracks were nice. Were a nice find though. Get that nice little fork-shaped tripod track. They're very hard not to mistake, or very hard to mistake as anything else. So that's one thing. You might be out in other times of the year and you find, or so it seems, like there's nothing out and around you, but snow is the great leveler of the playing field, because you can't walk through this without leaving signs of having been there. So you get an idea of what's in your neighborhood, which is why I was fairly eager to get out here today, because I figured there'd be snow up here. The official depth actually is, about 2 inches. Between 1.5 and 2 inches. I'm going to round up though, because it looked like 2 to me. Lots of bird noise today. But we go up a little ways, and if we don't see anything, then nice to have it's just nice to have an April walk in the snow. It's kind of a change of pace, if nothing else. But kind of a quick, kind of going down got a lot of, like, they were logging this about 5-6 years ago too at one point, but a lot of them got overgrown again. But as far as future plans, Vermont's shelter-in policy so far is still until May 15th, so that's about another month that I'm not likely going to get up there, just because I'll respect the order. I can't afford to get put into a situation where I'm forced to shelter for 14 days up there. My job would not look kindly upon that. So we're kind of stuck with the nature of things. But I think I will come back tomorrow, and as I pause and think about what particular stretch of the neighborhood I want to hit for tomorrow. So with that being said, I've walked a ways now, and I've seen little in the way of tracks beyond the one potential coyote who has since veered into the woods. So I'm going to call the segment here, and we will probably be back out tomorrow, and we can hopefully have more go on other than just have snow fall on my head for your entertainment. But that's where we're going to end this one. So we'll be back probably tomorrow.